We like to take a minute at Outspoken to remind ourselves that we are not a modern aberration. LGBTQI plus folks have existed for thousands of years. In 1984, a group of lesbians launched a publication in response to a radical feminist periodical called Off Our Backs. Off Our Backs began in 1970, announcing itself to be a paper for all women who are fighting for the liberation of their lives. But many lesbians felt that they were being overlooked and that Off Our Backs was prudish and anti-sex. In '84, a small group of lesbians launched On Our Backs, announcing their goals of sexual freedom, respect, and empowerment for lesbians. Publishers Debbie Sundahl and Myrna Alana were the first to feature lesbian erotica in the US. They hired Susie Bright, who was running a radical feminist vibrator store in San Francisco, and she became the magazine's editor and resident sex advice columnist, Susie Sexpert. Other contributors included erotic photographer Honey Lee Cottrell, lesbian feminist BDSM expert Patrick Califia, and lesbian herstory archives founder Joan Nessel. Off Our Backs threatened to sue because On Our Backs writers were discussing strap-ons and leatherwear for women. They were printing photo spreads of punk women proudly showing their naked bodies. A mermaid-themed photo shoot with silicone dildos was quite taboo. Sex toys were still referred to as marital aids, not toys. They published fiction, reviews, advice, pictorials, and when they first launched, they had a Bull Dagger of the Month. Most women's bookstores wouldn't even carry On Our Backs, and they had to sell issues at anarchist and gay men's bookstores. But they persisted and survived, continuing to discuss controversial topics. On Our Backs was the first lesbian publication to talk about lesbians with AIDS, and they covered lesbians who transitioned to men. Like most gay publications, financial struggle and infighting brought the publication to an end. Printing was 5 to 10 times more expensive than other magazines because printers were prudes, and some older printers were still concerned about the legality of printing pornography, which really hadn't been an issue since the 60s, and ad sales were very difficult to come by. On Our Back stopped printing in 2006, but you can find most of its content collected in several books, like the photo collection Nothing But the Girl by editors Susie Bright and Jill Posner, and Lindsay McClune's collection of On Our Back's best erotic fiction.
Hello.